my name's Taya and I work at the Live Oak Public Library, and I am in charge of our adult craft program. For the month of July, I'll be painting some dandelions, and I'm going to be theming them to 4th of July. Supplies you are going to need for today are a canvas, and I am using an 8x10. You're going to need bubble wrap, a pair of scissors, Q-tips, some paints, paintbrushes, a cup of water, a plate to put the paint on, and paper towels. Our first step is going to be taking our canvas, which I have an 8x10 canvas right here, and we're going to paint it entirely black. So I'm just going to take some black acrylic paint and a paintbrush and paint the whole thing black and then let it dry. Alright, now that your canvas is completely painted black, our next step is going to be to take our bubble wrap, and I'm going to cut 3 circles in 3 different sizes. I'm going to do a small one, a medium one, and a large one. You can make them however big or small you want. I'm just going to make sure that I compare them to the size of my canvas to make sure that they'll all fit on there correctly. So I'm just going to cut a strip of bubble wrap. And then I'm going to start cutting my circles. So and they don't have to be a perfect circle, because we are making a flower, and flowers aren't perfectly circle at all. So as you can see, that's a pretty rough circle, so I may trim it up a little bit, but I'm just going to go ahead and get my basic sizes done. Now that I have got my 3 sizes cut out, our next step is going to be to get our paint ready. So I'm going to be making my 4th of July flower in the 4th of July colors, so red, white, and blue. So the first one I'm going to grab is a dark blue. And I'm just going to put this on a plate. So we're going to take some paint and a brush, and I'm going to take, because I'm going to be using dark blue for this first one, the dark blue, and I'm going to paint it all over my circle bubble wrap. And I'm doing my largest circle first. And I'm going to apply this generously just to make sure it's completely covered. But I'm not going to glob it on. I'm just going to make sure there's a even coat. Okay, so our next step is going to be to take it once it's completely covered, pick where we want this flower to be, and go ahead and put it on our canvas and press it down. So I'm just going to make sure I press down all over and that it all gets mushed on there. And then I'm going to peel it up. So it's going to look something like this. Now I'm going to take some white paint, and I'm going to take a Q-tip, and I'm going to get a little bit wet, dab it off, dip it into my white paint, and I'm going to go ahead and dab all over this flower to just kind of fill it out and make it look more dotted. And I can flip and use the other side as well. And I'm just going to do this all over the flower until I'm satisfied with its appearance. And you can, since adding the white is going to obviously lighten the blue, and I use a dark blue, it kind of makes it more of a light blue. So I can and am going to go back through and with the dark blue, and I'm going to Q-tip some of that in there as well and just dot it so that there's both the light and the dark blue as well as the white. Alright, so now we're going to move on to our next flower, which I'm going to make this one red. Going to cover my second medium bubble wrap circle with the red paint. I'm doing the same as before. I'm going to lather it on and make a nice even coat, but I'm not going to clump it. And now I'm going to take my second flower and position it where I want it, and I'm going to mush it on. And now I'm going to peel it up. So I'm going to take my Q-tip and I'm going to do the same thing again with the white paint, and I'm going to just go in and dot it and mix it with the red. And now that my red and blue flowers are both done, I'm going to go ahead and do my third flower, which I'm going to make silver. And then I'm going to place my third flower and mush it down. And then I'm going to take my Q-tip and my white paint and go through and repeat the process on this one. Alright, so now that I have all 3 flowers done, my next step is going to be to go ahead and do my stems and my leaves. So I've got a light and a dark green paint. So I'm just going to start with the dark green, and I'm going to make a stem going from each flower to the bottom of my canvas. And I'm going to do this for all 3 of them, and just go ahead and make sure the stem reaches the bottom of the canvas. And then I'll add my leaves once I have all 3 flowers with stems. Alright, once I finished the stems, I went ahead and just did some decorative leaves down here and added a few details just to kind of make them pop some more. But that is it. That is our 4th of July flower painting. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to look out for more from Swanee River Regional Library in the future.